You know, it's disappointing to see videos from people who claim to be on our side laughing about this. It's not funny. What happened today was kind of sad. It's not sad for a man of substance. It's kind of sad for the state of our legal system. And it's kind of sad for, I guess, the state of the opposition to the tilt towards tyranny. Because we had hope that there was still some honour in these halls of justice. Now that doesn't matter, because here's a maxim that we should always consider when we're trying to improve ourselves every single day. Now I'm going through this document, I'm realizing that the maxim, the good of a defendant results from a perfect case, his harm from some defect. And what I'm learning as I'm going through all these notes that the judge has gone through, and you know, I have some respect for Judge Peter Zapecki. What I'm learning is that as we go on this journey to learn the common law, to learn the rules of equity, and to learn how to apply this in the courtroom, and even to argue in the system of the court of proof, because the system of the court of proof has its uses, that we actually have to learn how to argue quite well. Now you can have all the proof in the world, and you can basically prove that everything that the plaintiffs were claiming didn't stand up as it pertained to legislation and the facts of the matter. But if you go in there and you don't argue it well, i.e. create some context around that proof, a judge can't see the strength of your case. So there's two parts to it. There's your proof, which is all the documents that reinforce your argument, and then there's your argument. Now if your argument's weak, then your proof isn't going to be able to be put in the context that's required to get you a favourable result. And I think that's where I've failed at here. So right now, I believe there's still no joinder between a man of substance and the trust. I've been questioning that right from the start. So I'm not worried and I'm not concerned, because it's important to make sure that you're positive even when there's roadblocks put in your way. So I'm going to stick with that maxim. The good of a defendant arises from a perfect case, his harm from some defect. Because if I sit in that maxim, then all I'm going to do is improve at what I'm doing and hopefully relay to you ways in which you can improve. Because popular belief in our system is compromised. It's compromised. And so individuals who know it's compromised and need to right this track need to learn how to improve themselves, and not just what they do as a passion, but with the law. With the law. So, from what I've learned of this, I've got a lot to work on. Okay? I'm not going to go and basically blame the entire system for all of this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and focus on getting better at what I do. Because there's people out there that need our help. And if we don't get better, we're not going to be able to provide them competent help. And so for me, I'm optimistic. This was my first time. Hindsight, you know, this is why we need really good lawyers, because if you're coming up with the charge, if you're trying to defend charges such as these, and you've never done it before, it's going to be very difficult. And I also want to, for all those people that criticise me for going down this proof angle rather than just disputing the jurisdiction right from the start, you know, you guys have a point, because I went in here in order to try and get results for persons like Robert Perham and all the other people out there that criticise me for making a stand against things that are so obviously wrong. This wasn't for me. I've lost a lot doing it this way. I've lost huge amounts of money. I've lost huge amounts of time, huge amounts of energy, a lot of stress on my family who still don't quite understand how this is just theatre. It's a lot of stress on them. And it was all for a whole bunch of people who don't appreciate it at all. Not at all. You know, it's disappointing to see videos from people who claim to be on our side laughing about this. It's not funny, right? I didn't have to do it this way. I know that. I didn't have to go out and bat for people that probably don't deserve it. And you know what? Things are going to get really, really tough. And Judgment Day comes for all those who really don't deserve it. But it won't be coming for us. And we all know who you are now. You all came to the digging at Marsden. You all fucked that shit up. And you're still doing it. And so more and more people are going to see who you are. And they're going to be wiser to this shit. They're not going to be so naive. People are going to get a little bit tougher, a little bit harder, a little bit harsher. Because times are getting harder and harsher. And so all those people that compromise their being to get short-term gain, it's going to be a world that sucks heaps for them. Right? What comes around goes around. And that goes for everybody who's choosing the easy option out. It's not sad for a man of substance. You know, it's disappointing to see videos from people who claim to be on our side laughing about this. It's not funny.